lefty, right, left, right, left. Ready? Good morning, everyone in Titusville, Pennsylvania. I'd like to welcome you here today to our Memorial Day service. All units, attend, hut! Welcome. I'm your master of ceremony for today, Charlie Castelluccio. As I asked earlier, if you have a cell phone, please turn it off. In front of me is the scroll. Harry Gustafson has one exactly like it. But after the names are read, if your family member's name was not heard, please come forward. We have a piece of paper down there. We want to make sure every veteran gets recognized. We recognize veterans from 2020 till today, 2021. Today, our sign interpreter is Linda McCall, and the sound is provided by Charlie Urey. All rise. The invocation will be done by VFW Post Chaplain Harry Correa. And I need you to stay standing for a little bit. If you have to sit, I understand. Uncover.
O Lord Almighty, remember those who lived and died fighting to protect the dignity and the freedom of mankind. Let our spirits be proud of them. Let our hearts be compassionate and our minds clear and determined in giving them honor and respect. Let us be dependent on the loving kindness of the Lord our God. As we remember the departed, let us be true soldiers in war and on peace. Let us be courageous protectors and true guardians of freedom. Let us be the true masters of brotherly love. O Lord, guide us in the way of moral responsibility. Enlighten us, who are true believers in ethics and justice. Let this day be a day of commemoration and honor to those who sacrificed their lives in order to give us liberty, honor, and our nation's security. Remember them, O Lord, in your mercy, and have compassion on us. Make us a generation of people with wisdom, a disciplined people, and a people of faith. We pray in your name. Amen.
Cover. We will now have the raising of the flag by the Boy Scouts. Raise the flag, please. All veterans, attend, hut, present, arms. Order, arms. Will you please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance of the United States of America? Present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order, arms. We will now have the national anthem sung by the Titusville School District. Standing at attention, present arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched her so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Order, arms. We got a little bit of delay time. We got to get the wreath. While we're waiting for them to get the wreath, I'd like to introduce Jim Brown. He's the commander of the VFW Post 5958. Commander Jim.
Welcome and thank you all for being here this morning. I'll keep it brief. We're here to honor those that are no longer with us. Memorial Day is for that reason and that reason only. Keep that in mind later when you're doing your burgers, beers, and brats. Take that moment out and reflect back on those that aren't standing there with you. It's really all I have to say. I want to thank, again, everybody for being here. My guest, Amy, for being here. She'll be introduced later. Acknowledge my comrade down here, Frank Nottingham, the commander from the American Legion. Thank the city for allowing us to have this, and enjoy the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Speaking for the American Legion is the adjutant, Chuck Mulford. Chuck.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming here today, and I do have one slight little presentation I would like to give. My name is Chuck Mulford, and I'm a veteran, and I'm a representative of the American Legion in Titusville for our commander, Frank Nottingham. Today is a day to remember all vets. We do this by ceremonies like this one and placing a flag on every vet's grave. If you happen to go by a cemetery, you will see a vast amount of small flags waving in a gentle breeze. These flags are placed on each vet's grave with the respect due him or her. This year, we placed 4,700 flags in various cemeteries in eastern Crawford County and Venango County. If you are a veteran served, you are due a flag out of respect. And to put these out, we have help from the VFW, we have help from the American Legion, from the Boy Scouts, from the baseball teams, and about 35 concerned people that all want to help and show their respect. And we thank every one of them. One thing I might request, if you're going by a cemetery and you look over and you happen to see a flag laying down or bent over or in disrepair, maybe you'd have time to take a minute and just stop and straighten that flag and reset it. I'm sure it'll make you feel good to do it, and possibly you may even start looking for a few more to straighten up. And when you leave, that cemetery will be pristine as possible, and these people will be honored to the best of our ability. I also would like to invite everyone after the ceremony to come down to the American Legion. We have display set up, and also they're putting on a feed down there, and it's a pretty good lunch. And we would like to see everybody down there. I thank you very much, and again, I thank you for coming.
We will now have the placing of the wreath at the Veterans Memorial by Commander Jim Brown and Chuck Mulford of the American Legion. Place the wreath. Standing at attention, present arms. Order, arms. You may be seated. Very soon you will be hearing the reading of the memorial scroll from our veterans that have passed away in the surrounding area of Titusville, Townville, Centerville, Tidiute, and Tynesta. As I said earlier, the only names we have, the ones we have gotten from the funeral directors, and we have one more just got added. Over this last year, with the COVID, the funeral director asked me, Charlie, will your men fall out for the funerals? Without hesitation, I told him, yes, we will. Harry Gustafson, read the scroll, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow veterans. This has been a horrible, horrible year that we just went through. The people sitting out here, if you have personally lost a loved one, and he or she is on this list, my heart goes out to you. The pandemic prevented a lot of people from getting closure for losing a loved one. Their funerals were denied. A military funeral was denied. I would like to tell you this. I am a member of the Titusville Veterans Honor Guard, and I am so proud to be a member of that honor guard. I would like to point out to you these guys over here in a khaki uniform. This is our honor guard. We're getting smaller and smaller, and we're getting older and older. This is not a job. It is an honor to perform a military funeral for a deceased veteran. Every deceased veteran deserves a military funeral. A funeral with the respect and the dignity from his or her fellow veterans and from a grateful nation. We have a lengthy list this year. John McCarl, Sr., United States Army. Robert Mishler, United States Army. Robert Seeley, United States Army. Edward Hilton, United States Air Force. John Kramer, United States Army. Bertus Frank Sr., United States Navy. Gregory Bechtel, United States Army. James Wayne Cuban, United States Army. Gary Beach, United States Air Force. Archie Rosenberg, United States Army. Robert Pierce, United States Air Force. Elwood Southwick Jr., United States Army. Joseph Oliver, United States Army. John Shantz, United States Navy. Robert Morris, United States Army. John Wright, United States Army. Ron Heisterman, United States Army. Ronald Hopwood, United States Army. Paul Voisin, United States Army. Ronald Emig, United States Army. Matthew Blesneski, United States Army. John James Peterson, United States Army. Glenn Rogers, United States Navy. Lawrence Wenzel, United States Army. Devon Wiksinski, United States Marines. Glenn Bubba Ames, United States Marines. That's page 1. Robert Fry, United States Army. Ernest Burns, United States Navy. Harold Dow, United States Army. Roy Burrows, United States Air Force. Delmar Heinen, United States Army. Carmel Beringer, Sr., United States Air Force. John Tariski, United States Army. Robert Gracie, United States Army Air Corps. Paul Wiedelkind, United States Navy. Robert Hart, Sr., United States Army. Robert Davis, United States Army. William McClure, United States Army. Earl Shum, Jr., United States Navy. Richard Crumley, United States Marine Corps. Hugh Jones, United States Navy. Harold Smithers, Jr., United States Army. Michael Winger, United States Army. Sadford Wilson, United States Army. William Wakefield, United States Marine Corps. Dana Baldwin, United States Army. Harold Wagner, United States Army. Robert Gilson, United States Army. Ronald Rocky Anthony, Jr., United States Navy. That's page 2. William Cook, United States Army. David Vincent Sr., United States Army. Howard Madison, United States Navy. Gerald Miller, United States Army. William Edwards, United States Air Force. William Altmeyer, United States Navy. Robert Cornell, United States Army. Lloyd Eldon Whitson, United States Marine Corps. Robert V. Dieter Sr., United States Army. Edward J. Crossa, United States Marine Corps. Thomas F. Banks, Air Force. Tennis P. Bocchini, Air Force. Robert E. Houston Sr., United States Army. Samuel Jovanovich, Jr., Marine Corps. Richard A. Keene, United States Air Force. Patrick J. Lyons, United States Army. James M. Mitch, Jr., United States Marine Corps. Mark A. Choupet, United States Army. Marshall L. Tucker, United States Air Force. Neva C. Ward, United States Air Force. Barry I. Wentz, United States Army. Morton J. Holover, United States Army. Clyde R. Sutton, United States Army. Timothy P. Bergstrom, United States Army. William R. Shorts, United States Air Force. If you were counting, there was 75 veterans that we have lost from our ranks. They are gone, but they will never, ever be forgotten. Thank you.
Is there any name that was not said? We'll just take a minute. Because as my comrade Harry said, every name on this list is important. They're a father, a husband, a brother, or a sister. And in this town, we honor them. Any names? We will now have the salute to our fallen comrades by the combined members of the VFW and the American Legion. All rise. Present arms. Order, arms. Order, arms. You may be seated. Through all the chaos of not getting the sound system going this morning, I forgot to mention that we have some buddy poppies up front here. After the service, take your time, come on up, get some. If you would like to make a donation, that's all much the better. I would like to introduce our guest speaker for today. She is the VFW Department of Pennsylvania Women's Veterans Representative, Amy Mckenzie. Come on, Titusville, let's give her a welcome. But before she gets up here to the microphone, just a little bit of her bio. Amy Mckenzie is a veteran of the United States Air Force. She is a Braun Legacy Life member of Cocalo Valley Veterans of Foreign Wars Post, VFW Post 3376, located in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. That's in northwestern Lancaster County, so she came a long ways today. She is a past post commander and currently serving as both post and district quartermaster, and is Department of Pennsylvania Women Veterans Chairperson. She is married to her husband, Dwayne, for 28 years. Dwayne is also an Air Force veteran. They have 3 adult sons and 2 grandkids. They firmly believe in volunteering and could always be found at their children's sports, music, and Boy Scouts. Once again, Titusville, let's give her a very, very warm welcome. Amy.
Good morning, Titusville. Thank you for having me out here. Commander Brown, thank you so much for inviting me to be here. You've already heard my name, Amy Mckenzie, and that I am traveling to you from Lancaster County, came in yesterday, and your town is just gorgeous. We took a little tour yesterday, and I know Commander Brown is going to take us around a little more this afternoon, but we've been very impressed with what we've seen here in your history. It was mentioned that I'm a proud Air Force veteran. My husband also served in the Air Force. My uncle was in the Air Force. My husband's father was in the Air Force. My husband's 2 brothers were in the Air Force. My oldest son joined the Air Force. And my youngest son, my baby, joined the United States Army. It's all good, we still love him. And yes, you all can laugh, you can chuckle at that. While today is a serious day and a time for reflection, it's also perfectly acceptable to have fun and revel in the many joys and freedoms and blessings that we have as Americans. So as I prepared for today, I reflected back on my military service, and I talked with my fellow VFW comrades to gain a little perspective. And I asked myself, and I asked them, why do people join the military? Why go into such a potentially dangerous line of work, especially when the prospect of being one of those whom we remember today, Memorial Day, is a very real possibility? Why knowingly place yourself at risk? Now, granted, not everyone had the opportunity to voluntarily enlist in the military. And to my comrades who were drafted, I do acknowledge your difficult situation and commend you for doing your duty to your country when you were called forth. Thank you. For those who continue to voluntarily enlist and re-enlist to serve in the military, why? Why do you do it? Why raise your right hand and promise that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Why agree to place yourself in harm's way? To be separated from family and friends, to potentially be deployed to some extremely dangerous and remote assignments. Why subject yourself to a strict discipline code, a strict dress code, a strict physical fitness code? The easy answer is duty, honor, country. It is a preconceived notion amongst many that those who join the military do so because they have nowhere else to go. I'm going to tell you right now, that's false. It's not true. In the days following the attack on Pearl Harbor, men, young and old alike, rushed to their recruiting stations to enlist in the military. Hundreds of thousands of them lined up around the block in a surge of patriotism, ready to defend their country. My neighboring town tells the story of James Young, age 20. He had finished his shift at the local shoe factory. He hitchhiked into Philadelphia, where he planned to enlist in the Marines and join the fight in the Pacific. Young recalls arriving at the recruiting station, some 88 miles from his house, and finding a long line outside the office. It was clear that American patriotism was fueled by the attack, and the men lined up to join the military. They were not going to stand down until justice for the many deaths was avenged. Frustratingly for Young, he was turned away by the Navy for having 3 cavities. But as he left, he was approached by a Marine recruiter who advised him that his branch was less picky. Before long, Young found himself serving as a United States Marine and did in fact deploy out to the Pacific. Young's story is one that can be repeated endlessly throughout the United States in the days and weeks following the attack. However, despite the surge in patriotism and volunteers, it was clear that enlistments alone would not bring enough men and women into the military. Congress enacted a draft law in September of 1940, but it was limited to men and women of less than 1 million number. After war was declared, unfortunately, millions more were conscripted into the war. The Korea and Vietnam War saw the draft once again enacted. However, statistics will show that only 25% of the military force in a combat zone were draftees. That tells you that the remaining forces were troops who voluntarily joined up. My father was one of those. He knew his draft time was imminent. He chose to enlist in the United States Air Force, feeling he would have more control over his future in the military. After the deadly attack on 9/11, just under 200,000 Americans enlisted in the ranks of active duty service, and some 73,000 joined the enlisted reserves. America's interest in joining the military increased by 8%, and many claim it was 9/11 that inspired them to enlist. In fact, service members who had not previously planned on joining the military suddenly found themselves reconsidering their life path after witnessing those attacks, be they in person or on the television. There was an Army major, 20-year-old college student at the time in New York City, working just 7 blocks down from the World Trade Center when the planes crashed into the towers. He says, prior to that event, I have never considered joining the military, but it was at that moment I realized that there was something I needed to be a part of that was greater than myself. Others have joined the military for the educational benefits, and some for the opportunity to travel. My story: I was an exchange student to Germany in high school, came home speaking fluent German. I also studied Spanish. I was undecided about the career path I wanted to take. I spoke to an Air Force recruiter who promised, all my military people know what that word is, promised from a recruiter, that due to my language skills, I would be able to work at high-level diplomatic functions and be a translator for all the VIPs in the world. You can laugh now. I was told to keep my prom dress because I would definitely need it for all the embassy balls I would attend. And so it came to be that I enlisted in the United States Air Force. Not because of a national tragedy like so many others, but because of the educational benefits and different reasons that were driving me at the time. By the way, if and when I find that recruiter, we're going to have a little talk. Not only did I not attend a single embassy ball, I did a very, very different job than I was promised. Loved every minute of it, however. In basic training, my training instructor did their job very, very well. Those of you who've been through basic training, you know your TI is going to take the raw, young, immature, self-centered men and women and mold them into what their country needs to be. If you've been through basic training, regardless of the branch, you know the goal is to break you down and then build you back up into the fighting force that our country requires. It's a time-proven process, and it works. You learn to follow orders, self-discipline, self-sacrifice, how to function as a team, and ultimately give yourself over to something so much bigger than yourself. One evening, we were treated to a show called Tops in Blue, which is a traveling group of airmen who put on entertainment shows for the troops. The closing number of that show was a performance of Proud to be an American by Lee Greenwood. It was at that moment, I can tell you, I felt a bolt of lightning pass through me hearing those words, surrounded by my fellow airmen in basic training, and I got it. I understood what my purpose was in the Air Force. I was proud to be an American. I was free, and I was going to defend this country. So now we were all fired up, ready to serve and be the best airmen we could possibly be. After basic training, I spent a lot of time in various technical schools. I was trained as a German linguist and a Spanish linguist. I was stationed in West Berlin. It was the height of the Cold War, and I was also there before, during, and after the fall of the Berlin Wall. Unlike many of you, I was fortunate not to be in active combat, but I have seen the results. In my recitation of my family's military history, I did not mention my grandfather and my brother. They were United States Marines. Correction, they are Marines. For Marines, it's forever. My brother was deployed out to Kuwait and Iraq in 2003, part of Operation Iraqi Freedom. He was never the same. He came back with no physical injuries, but my baby brother was changed by his combat time in Kuwait and Iraq. He does suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, which is a very real and very awful medical condition. And this affects not only his life, but the lives of his family and his friends and his coworkers. And sadly, like so many combat veterans, he refuses to talk about his experiences or seek help for his PTSD. But we are grateful that he came back. So many others from all different wars, conflicts, dangerous situations did not return. And that is the purpose for today, to remember and honor them and mourn them today and every day. It is close to us. But how do we continue to do that throughout the year? How do we make Memorial Day a reality all the time as we remember and pay homage to those who did not come back? Obviously, this is the easy answer, gathering together today to say a silent thank you, to place flags at the cemeteries throughout town. But more importantly, as you leave here today, I urge you to make sure that these sacrifices were not in vain. The men and women who did not return have given us all a tremendous gift, and I urge you to use this gift wisely, the gift of freedom. Be a good citizen. Show that you truly appreciate this gift each and every day. Exercise your right to vote. Serve on a jury if called to do so. Fly the American flag proudly and respect it each and every day. Say hello to your neighbor. Reach out to the needy. Volunteer in your community. Be grateful. Be kind. And do not feel awkward about enjoying your long weekend or today's beautiful weather or any other planned gatherings you may have. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your family. Just be mindful of how this came to be and why you are able to do so. Today, our U.S. flag flies at the half-staff position until noon only and is then raised to the top of the staff for the remainder of the day. This custom only happens on Memorial Day. It honors the war dead in the morning, but then the flag is raised to full staff by the living, who resolve not to let their sacrifice be in vain, but to rise up in their stead and continue the fight for liberty and justice for all. To the veterans in the audience, my fellow comrades, I thank you for your service and sacrifice. Your country owes you a debt of gratitude. Regardless of how you came to be in the United States military, we share the common bond of service to something larger than ourselves. And I am proud and honored to be a part of that exclusive brotherhood and sisterhood. For the friends and family of our past and current military members, thank you. Your ongoing support, love, and sacrifice makes it possible for them to do their very difficult job. To those of you who lost a loved one in battle, our hearts break for you as we offer you our sincere thanks for their service and sacrifice. So I thank you for coming out today. I thank you for being a part of this Memorial Day ceremony. It's a beautiful town, and I'm very fortunate and blessed to be here. So continue to remember through today, give thanks, and enjoy your blessings.
You just heard a message from one of the many, many, many female veterans in this great land of the United States of America. This is part of my closing remarks. So when you see a veteran, and it's a man and a woman walking together, and you see the veteran has the hat on, do not assume that the female is just the wife. Right now in this country, 20% are female veterans. They do an awesome job. Why do we come out Memorial Day to honor our veterans? Because later on today, we'll have barbecue, a couple cold beverages, enjoy the life that we have. And it's because of the veteran that we do this. Nobody else. From the beginning of this great country to the many wars till current day, our veterans are serving our country proudly. As you look at my comrades over here, the Honor Guard, as Comrade Harry said, we're getting old. I'll be 72 this year. Harry's about 76 or 77, and there's a few more older than that. We need help with the Honor Guard because we're dwindling. I'm also a DAV driver. I have 2 other veterans from the area that give me a helping hand taking veterans to the VA hospitals. We are in dire need of volunteers. So if you'd like to be a DAV driver, be a part of this great Honor Guard, get a hold of me, give me a call. Because that's what we do. The VFW motto is, to honor the dead by serving the living. If you want to see another Memorial Day service, get in your vehicle, drive up to Centerville, the Sunnyside Cemetery. Probably many of you don't even know where it's at. You get up to Centerville to the red and white store, hang a left, cross over the little bridge there. There's a road to the right. Goes way back in about a quarter of a mile. That's where I'll be today. I'm the guest speaker. And my comrades, the honor guard, will be there also. Take the time to honor our veterans. One last thing. Do not tell me to have a happy Memorial Day. Do not tell any veteran, have a happy Memorial Day. This is not a happy time for us. It's a time we honor our comrades that have gone before us. If you want to tell me or my comrades or any of the many veterans out here wearing VFW hats, World War II, my comrade in uniform, tell us, thank you for your service. Have a great day. Thank you. All rise. We will now have the benediction by the VFW 5958 Auxiliary Chaplain, Margaret Feely. Margaret. Uncover.
May the Lord our God bless all present here to memorialize those who lived and died to preserve liberty and freedom in our nation and in the world. And may the Lord our God remember all those whose sacrifice gave this nation its greatness, progress, and riches. May our memory and all of those who served in the armed forces be an honorable one, full of thanksgiving to the Lord, and remember with much love and mercy those who died in the service of our country, whether on the air or on the land or in the sea. Be with us all and provide us with traveling mercy as we return to our homes. God bless America, and thank you, veterans.
Cover. This concludes our memorial service today. Like I said earlier, we have a whole bunch of these poppies. Just don't take one, take a bunch and pass them on to your family members. Thank you, each and every one.
It's been a while.
Oh, no, hablo español. No capisce italiano.
That's a hot mic.
Studiaba en la escuela.
Hot mic.
It's good now.
Yeah,
You're good now.
Nice to meet you. Well, thank you.